it's still, it's preparing.
There is a message at the top that says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Preparing. Okay, I can see it on YouTube, so we are live. So we
All
can
right.
anytime.
Let's call the meeting to order at 7:01, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
So we are live. So we
All right.
anytime.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First, we have approval of the agenda.
Rick Rudloff moves to approve the agenda of the April 21st, 2020 regular meeting as presented.
Martha Riesinger, second it.
Eric Bosler,
Aye.
David Bova,
Yes.
John Hook,
Yes.
Jim Kirchner,
Yes.
Harry McDaniel, yes. Martha Riesinger,
Yes.
Richard Rudloff.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
All right. Next, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Eric Bosler will move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Rick Rudloff will second.
Eric Bosler,
Yes.
Dave Bova,
Yes.
John Hook,
Yes.
Jim Kirchner,
Yes.
Harry McDaniel, yes. Martha Riesinger,
Yes.
Rudloff,
Yes.
motion carried 7-0.
All right. Next, we have public participation. Board members and administrators will listen to concerns and respond when appropriate by mail or telephone at a later date. We will not be able to respond to your questions at this time. The purpose of this session is for us to listen to you and give you the opportunity to share with us. Per policy BDDH-1, public participation at board meetings, the following guidelines and procedures will be followed. In order to speak during public participation, a public comment form must be filled out and submitted to the board president prior to the beginning of the meeting. The public comment period will not exceed 15 minutes. No individual will be permitted to speak more than once, and each speaker will be allotted no more than 5 minutes. For virtual meetings, individuals who would like to speak during public participation should download the form linked on our website, fill it out, and email it to dbova@sgdragons.org before 6:45 p.m. the day of the meeting. Your comment will be read aloud during the meeting. I checked at 7 o'clock actually, and I had no comments. Next, we have report of the superintendent.
All right. Let me share my screen with you. All right. I thought since it's April, some nice flowering plants would be appropriate. In my report for April, you do have notes of appreciation in your board packet. I believe there was 4. And the very last one in your packet, I had another board member ask me today who sent that. It was just a thank you card thanking the board, the administration, our staff for all that they're doing for students right now. That came in anonymously, so I'm not sure who sent it, but it was a very kind gesture from, and was from whoever sent it. It was nice that they took the time to send it. The next item I have on my report is the last day of school. The governor has closed all Missouri public and charter schools for the remainder of the 2019-20 school year. But the guidance that he issued and the requirements set forth by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education requires all school districts in Missouri to continue to educate students through the last day of school on their school calendar. So For us, the last day that we have scheduled for seniors is on Wednesday, May 13th. So seniors will continue to work up until that Wednesday. All other students pre-K through grade 11. With our snow days, our last day of school would be Wednesday, May 27th. So we'll continue to provide remote learning and continue offering support to our teachers and our students through May 27th. And then it's our tradition, the day after our last day of school is the teacher workday and summer checkout. So the first day that teachers can begin checking out and completely like turning in their computers and all the equipment that they have that is ours would be Thursday, May 28th. Does anyone have any questions on the last day of school?
No.
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 Okay. I don't see anybody shaking their head yes, so I'm going to move on. I think this is the information that a lot of people are interested in. So this information in my report is for St. Genevieve High School, and I asked Mr. Haney to be a part of the meeting today, so he can help me make sure I get all of this right, and he can help answer questions. I've told many people graduation and prom is a high school event. It's always been run by our high school principal and the assistant principal, and we at district office offer support to them. So this is their event and we're providing support. And I know things are different now, but there is no way I'm going to step in front of Mr. Haney and Dr. Boyd on this event. So I'm just going to relay the information that we've discussed and shared. As I said, on the last day of school presentation, the seniors' last day of school will be Wednesday, May 13th. Their graduation right now is set on Saturday, May 16th for 8 p.m. If we are unable to provide them an appropriate ceremony to celebrate their accomplishment, we have an alternative plan. So the first plan that we have would be to, if we can't hold it on May 16th, would be to move graduation to Saturday, June 20th at 8 p.m. But we also know that we have about 12 seniors who are going in the military and who all have leave dates that have been pushed up by 6 weeks, some even more. But our first senior that we know of that has to leave for the military is May 18th. So we want to go ahead on May 16th, if we're unable to do the entire class, to do a graduation ceremony, small graduation ceremony for seniors who are entering the military at 2 p.m. For the senior and their parents. And again, we'll provide more information if this is where we end up to those families. And since we also know our juniors and seniors are really hoping for a prom, what we're going to do in this first plan is we would set prom for Friday, June 19th. We would hold it from 7 to 11 p.m. as planned, but as of right now, we don't know where that would be. And with everyone rescheduling weddings, we're not sure where it'll end up, but we will find a place. So if we get to June and we know we're not going to be able to have the ceremony and prom in mid to late June, we have a second backup plan. And that second backup plan would be to hold the graduation ceremony on Saturday, July 25th. But we would still go ahead with the military graduation on the 16th, May 16th. And we would put prom then on Friday, July 24th. So that is the graduation plan that's been approved by the board, alternative plan number 1 and 2, to try to make something happen for these very deserving seniors.
So there will be no graduation in May other than the military.
Well, maybe not. It kind of
Okay.
depends, we're going off of guidance from CDC, their guidelines, county health department. Do I think it's going to happen on May 16th? Probably not, but right now that's the date it is set on.
Okay.
But as that gets closer, we'll be able to share information out with those families. Mr. Haney did send a call out to senior parents ahead of this board meeting, just to kind of give them a heads up so they know what the plan is. We didn't want to surprise them. They've been waiting quite a while to hear this information.
Dr. Fleig, does that mean if we would have it on May the 16th, would that be with social distancing?
My best guess, yes, which means it would be a very limited ceremony. Mr. Haney, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't really know, because the thing that keeps going through my mind is we talk about social distancing and then we talk about no gatherings larger than 10. And it's that second constraint a lot of times that really creates where I start to see the problem. We can do a lot with social distancing, but like even our military, to try to bring them all together with families and stuff is going to be greater than the 10. So that's where I would look to guidance from our county health department. And if they feel like it would be appropriate to move forward with something involving social distancing, then yes. If not, then no. And that's true with that military graduation. We may have to think really outside the box to make something work for them, because we may not be able to. We're getting into that kind of number that we may not even be able to accommodate that in May. That's where my mind is at right now. But we definitely do not want to do anything that steps outside the CDC or our health department.
Thank you.
So these are really dates. We're just not sure what it looks like on that day.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of give this an example of, it's like a wedding save the date idea. And that is that we really want to do our best to try to provide an appropriate graduation for our seniors. If we're able to bring them all together. But we know that as we start to infringe on summer, we start to infringe on other things that may be going on, especially as restrictions hopefully lighten up. And so we wanted people to know what we were looking at, what kind of targets to leave open. And that's also why, if you're curious why we're kind of running prom and graduation back to back, that's what went into that thinking as well, that if we tried to do it on alternate weekends, then it started to take up 2 weekends in June and 2 weekends in July, and had implications on the summer more than maybe what we wanted. We felt like without the impact of school, to where, you had the school day on Friday, that we would be able to successfully give the students an appropriate prom on Friday, complete with the day to decorate, do hair, get out, if that's appropriate at the time. And that's kind of why we thought backing them up might be a good idea.
Mr. Haney, if, we never know when that's going to be lifted.
Mhm.
So how much notice are we going to give families as to which date we're going to go with? If it's lifted on Monday, this 15th of June, would we go ahead and have it then on the 20th of June? Or, I can understand if it's lifted on the 18th of June, that the 20th of June may not work. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean, Joan, and that is an excellent question. We hadn't really talked that through, because I think in communicating with you guys and communicating with each other, Dr. Fleig, Dr. Taylor, Miss Otto have been amazing to communicate with. I feel like that we will come together in those times and make the right decision. And I know that's a politician's answer, so to speak. It's an answer without an answer. But I feel comfortable with the idea. And that's sort of why I think we're wanting to get these dates out, is so that people have them on their radar. But you're absolutely right. One of the other things that we have to do is we can only be so prepared for the event before it. We still have to do stage setup. We still have to make sure the chairs are set up. We still have to make sure the gym is set up. And that all takes an appropriate amount of time, that there's a window there where when we get inside that, we won't be able to go. So you're absolutely right. Although it can be a later decision, it can't be a game time decision.
Right. Okay.
So but we don't know exactly what that looks like, a week, 10 days, what exactly that looks like. That's why we're trying to give people the courtesy of this sort of notice to begin to understand and frame it, so to speak.
Okay, thank you.
So those kids that are in the military, though, we don't know what it'll look like, but they definitely need to set aside 2 p.m. on the 16th. We'll do something, whether it be virtual, in person, whatever.
Yes. Yes, those young men and women deserve that from us. And so we will do something there. And then, to be honest with you, without giving away too much, I'd like whatever we do there to then actually be incorporated into our actual graduation at the time as well, so that they have some sort of presence in that event. And again, I thank the community because of our video display board and things like that. If we're able to be in the gym at that time, really make that easier for us to bring that back to light.
That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you all, because I know I maybe have been driving you crazy about this subject. So thank you.
No.
Is that it, Dr. Fleeg?
Yes, that is the end of report of the superintendent.
Any other questions for Dr. Fleeg or Mr. Haney?
I have one, since I'm the only principal here. And can I do a principal's report real fast?
Please
Absolutely.
do.
And actually, I promise that although normally these are 5 minutes each at 4 buildings, which would give me 20 minutes, I promise I won't do that. Really, what I want to say is this. During this time, I've never been prouder to be a part of this community and its leaders and the business community. It's been amazing to see us all come together and keep safe. Every time I see the reports on the news and I see how low our numbers are, I'm so appreciative of the difficult discussions. But I wanted to bring it up at the board meeting because, as proud as I am of our community leaders and our business leaders, I want the Board of Education and the community to know that I put Dr. Fleeg, Dr. Taylor at the tops of that list. They have made very difficult decisions for staff and students alike, decisions that they probably would have never wanted to make, and they've been forced to make them, and they've done them very well. So I just wanted to take a minute while I was here with everybody to say thank you and how much I appreciate what it has taken to get us to this point and be where we're at with a calm and a safe demeanor. And as the words of the great American philosopher Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that.
I completely agree with you. Thank you to Dr. Fleeg and Dr. Taylor.
I would like to say the same thing. This is Martha. Thank you so much for what you've done. Everybody, I mean, we appreciate everything and what you've done with the kids, with the meals, making sure that those kids got those meals. Thank you so much.
Mr. Haney, could I ask you one more question?
Yes, sir.
If there are military who have report dates that are later on and they can still participate in the June or July, if that happens, will we wait and have them do that, or is that another decision we need to make?
My message to parents was in the phone message, it did say for those who would not be able to do a June graduation. So my hope would be that if they have deployment dates later, that they would wait and participate in that later graduation, because one of my favorite moments of all of that is when we do recognize the military, and to have them there live is, to me, just one of the neatest moments we do in graduation. So
Absolutely.
that was kind of how I framed that. But again, for those military individuals and their families, we will take that on a case-by-case basis and work with them with what works best.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions? Next on the agenda is unfinished business. I don't see any. So next we have new business, approve health, dental, vision, and life insurance rates for the 2020-2021 school year.
Yes, let me go ahead and pull those up. And while that's coming up, I will share the St. John R2 Insurance Committee met on April 8th via Zoom. We went through all of the information, and the committee has approved the plans that I'm presenting to you tonight. A little history while it's still loading. We're a part of the MAAA Health Consortium, and we work with an insurance broker called Wall Street. In the past 2 years, we've had United Healthcare as our insurance provider. The consortium went to United Healthcare in December and wanted to start negotiating rates. They came back with a 19.4% increase, and that's where they left it. They did not negotiate with us. So we put the insurance out for a bid, and Anthem came in lower. So we are changing to Anthem once again. So what you see on the screen now are the medical rate is the 4 plans that we will use here at St. John R2 with Anthem. In this column, high deductible health plan number 7. This is our board paid plan. It is a blue preferred plan, and blue preferred basically means that you do not have access to Orange Jewish and St. Francis. Those 2 hospitals have the highest rates in the state. So if you can take them out as an option for people in the plan, it saves a lot of money. Our current United Healthcare plan, they do not have access to Barnes and St. Francis. So this wasn't a big change, or it shouldn't be a big change for our employees. So like I said, Plan 7 here is a high deductible health plan. This is the board paid plan, and employees have the option to add a spouse, to add children, and to add a family with children. Employees also have the option to do high deductible health plan number 8. As you see here, deductibles are higher on this plan. If they choose to go with Plan 8, the board then pays the premium of $408.77 and puts $92.01 into their health savings account. So this is what we call our board contribution plan. We have quite a few employees who are on these 2 plans. And then we also have always offered 2 buy-up options. So this year we're going to offer this Anthem Blue Preferred option. Again, they don't have access to Barnes and St. Francis, but deductibles are smaller. It's a more traditional plan. And on this plan and the one next to it, employees have to buy up. They have to pay the difference between what the board pays and what the plan actually costs. So this was Plan 3 on all of the ones we had to choose from. We then went as the other buy-up option. It is Plan 3. Again, all of the deductibles are the same, but what is different is this is a blue access plan. If you want to use Barnes in St. Francis, you can buy up and use this plan, and you will have access to those doctors and those hospitals. From where we are currently at, to go to Plan 7 as our board paid plan next year is a 4% increase, which will cost the district another $84,000. And then I'll switch screens for you. The next plan that we talk about is dental. The district does provide dental insurance for our employees. Employees are able to add spouse, children, and family. The district also, in these columns here, the district also provides vision insurance for employees. And again, they can add an employee plus 1 person or employee plus 2 or more. And the district also provides a basic life and accident and AD&D, accident dismemberment.
Accidental death and dismemberment.
Thank you very much. We do provide a $30,000 life insurance for all of our employees. And again, they're able to add children, spouses, but it's a buy-up option for them. When the consortium made the decision to go to Anthem, Anthem locked the rates for dental, vision, and life in at the same rate that we were paying United Healthcare. They locked those rates in for 24 months. So there is no increase for dental, vision, and life this year. And there should be no increase next year if we're still with Anthem. So the total cost to provide health insurance for our employees next year will go up just the approximate $84,000 for the health insurance. And I think that's all of the information I was going to share with you. So at this time, if you have any questions, I'll take those.
Dr. Fleeg, there was no other people that bid on this other than Anthem.
No, it was just Anthem this time. In the past, we have had Signet,
Cigna,
Cigna.
Cigna.
something like that. Yeah, when we went out like 3 or 4 years ago, we actually provided the bid, but Anthem is the only one that bid this time.
This is a 4% increase versus a 19%.
19.4, yes.
Do you know, were there major changes in like the deductibles or anything?
The major changes on the deductibles are the non-network deductibles. Some of them went pretty high, but the past couple of years, we've been talking to our employees and trying to get them to realize, and it's not just our health consortium, but overall health insurance, you have to be a better consumer of your health insurance in order to keep your costs down. So in order to drive the cost down and get it to that 4% increase and not be a 6 or an 8, the out of network deductibles did go up quite a bit.
But our local hospital and Mercy are in network.
Yes. Yes, I believe the only one that we weren't sure about was on the dental. I think Dr. Loida was not in, but Tana here in district office, and her name's Joe with Wall Street, our insurance broker. We're working with Dr. Loida's office to get him in network because we have a lot to go there.
Julie, did a lot of other districts leave the consortium this year?
No, nobody left the consortium. We actually have voted Jackson in, but right now Jackson is not as healthy as we were, but they bring 1,300 lives with them. So we're going to phase them in over the next 5 years. So this year they're in the consortium, but they're standalone. Next year, if they're healthy and they will benefit us, they'll actually come fully into the consortium. If they're still not as healthy as the consortium, they'll continue to maintain and be standalone, but still part of the consortium.
Okay.
So we didn't have anyone leave, but we did bring another school district in that we think will benefit us in a couple of years.
Okay. Joan Hook, I'll move to approve the health, dental, vision, and life insurance rates for the 2020-2021 school year.
Tim Kirchner, I will second it.
Eric Bosler,
Yes.
Abe Bova,
Yes.
Joan Hook,
Yes.
Jim Kirchner,
Yes.
Harry McDaniel, yes. Martha Reesinger,
Yes,
Rick Rudolph, Rick, did that come through?
You're muted, Mr. Rudloff.
He's still muted?
Yes. Bailey, can you unmute him?
I'm trying to, but I think because I'm seeing your screen.
Okay, let me do this then. Here, I'll show you my last.
Okay, there we go. Okay, unmute. Okay.
Hey,
Mr.
Terry. Yes. Yes.
There he is.
We can hear you now.
I don't know what happened.
Rick Rudolph.
Yes.
All right. Motion carried 7-0.
All right. Before we go to closed meeting, Dr. Fleeg, do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Read yesterday that the governor was doing a little withholding, and I didn't know if you had any indicators as far as budget for next year, as far as foundation formula funds and things of that nature.
Actually, yes, the withholds actually impact this year's budget. The governor withheld approximately $23.6 million. Three of the programs that they withheld money from really don't affect our school district. The reading assessment, the Fine Arts Academy, and the Missouri preschool program insurance report. That was a study that they were doing. The two categories that do impact us, they withheld $7.1 million from transportation, which is a reduction of about 2.4% in the money that we should receive. They're going to withhold that over our May and June payments. And the biggest chunk of money is about $15 million that they had put into the foundation formula to do a prior year correction. So the prior year correction won't be as big as we thought it was going to be because that money is now gone. But, you know, it is what it is. We were expecting withholds and we're hoping that this is all that we withheld, but we still have 2 more months to go.
All right, thank you. And then do we plan to serve meals till the end of the school year?
Yes. Jordan Mueller, our director of food service, we've discussed it. We may make our last day of service on Friday, May 22nd, but we will at least go that far. We're looking at ending it there on that Friday because we're not only in the kitchen in order to do the sack lunches and to provide the breakfasts in bags and everything. We've expanded out and we're all over the middle school, high school cafeterias. So we have a much larger area that we've taken up to make all of this happen. So instead of just needing 1 day to clean, we're going to need at least 2, possibly 3.
Thank you. And I just want to say thanks to everyone. I know we got to go to a closed meeting now, but thanks to Bailey and everyone for making this Zoom meeting happen.
Yes.
Next, we have action for a closed meeting.
Harry McDaniel. I move that the Board of Education hold a closed meeting with a closed record and a closed vote following the regular open meeting on April 21st, 2020 to be conducted via Zoom video conference for the purpose of discussing and voting upon the following items of business: hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting particular employees, scholastic probation, expulsion, or graduation of identified individuals, preparation for negotiation with employee groups. I further move that notice of this meeting and its tentative agenda be posted as required by law.
Eric Bosler will second.
Eric Bosler,
Yes.
Dave Bova,
Yes.
Joan Hook,
Yes.
Harry McDaniel, yes. Martha Reesinger? Martha Reesinger?
You're muted.
Yes, sorry.
Richard Rudolph?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.